Hey guys, hope you and the families are doing well. This is the live coaching session. Today's date is the 25th September 2025. So we're going to be focused more so on intraday stuff, and what we are specifically going to be focused on is intraday relative strength. Bar risk management, I think it is the most important trading concept to be focused on. So what I'm going to do is take you through some of the trades from today, some from yesterday as well. So I'm going to take you through PLTR and ONDS from the 25th of September. I'm going to take you through Corewave from the 25th of September. I'll then take you through a couple from yesterday, which is Tesla and Riot, which is going to be the 24th of September. Okay, so let me just bring this up. Okay, so this is today when I took this screenshot earlier, 4.98% in a day, and it's pretty straightforward, guys. So I'm going to be taking you through the how behind it, and I'm sure a lot of you are already aware about the how behind it, but it is really about focusing on intraday relative strength. It's so important. So these are the trades that I'm going to be taking you through. Okay, ONDS, as you can see here. Okay, so that's then the entry is here, and I'll take you through exactly why. So we're really going to be thinking about things from the identification standpoint, like really dialing in. This is where I think the game is being played right now. I'm going to take you through PLTR, which you can see. So that is from today. I'm then going to take you through Corewave. Okay, as well. So this is going to be the Corewave one. Corewave went actually in terms of breaking out a higher day on the 25th of September before PLTR, before ONDS. So actually showing even more intraday relative strength. So I will take you through those. And then some from yesterday, I'm going to take you through Riot and Tesla. Okay, so I'm going to be taking you through yesterday's bar. So again, it's exactly the same thing. So what I'd really like after this kind of 15-20 minute rant, just to go, it's just the same thing keeps happening. Like it's the tickers change on a day-to-day basis, but the same thing keeps happening in terms of the identification process for when leading stocks are more likely to go on bigger moves for that session. Like visually, everything looks the same. It's just the tickers change, guys. It's literally just the tickers change. These are the things that I'm going to be taking you through in the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so. And as I said, if you guys then want to go through any specific stocks that you've been trading, you want a little bit of feedback on it yesterday, today, obviously I can't tell you what to do, but I can give you some kind of feedback views on what I would see at that time. So let me just start off with, let's start off from today with PLTR and ONDS. So we're going to be more so focused on opening range breakouts, but these are quasi kind of like INMERELO type plays as well. So the context over the last two sessions, I think, is quite important. So I'm actually just going to start off because again, it's not only being able to understand the type of stocks that you're looking to trade, so preferably leaders, TMLs, your momentum leaders, your O'Neill, big earnings, big sales, big estimates, new innovated area of the market, the story is good, tickety-boo, right? Or potentially your momentum leaders that have the higher 20-day ADR percentage and could be in like a hot theme such as ONDS, high 20-day ADR percentage of nearly 11.5%, hot theme being drones. Probably the leader in the drone space as well, in my view, currently. But you also want to have the awareness of the market. So it's the awareness of the market for when you're looking to push the accelerator pedal really, really hard. Okay, let's go for it. So if I take you through the session plans, okay, from the last 2 days, I'm not going to read all of this nonsense out to you, but let me just highlight it. Okay, so what I'm blabbering on about here, okay, is yesterday was a grind of a session, so we were seeing that on the 23rd of September. It was just grindy. A lot of you probably experienced it, and nothing much was really kind of going on. You can see then how these daily bars ended as well. You can see there was a negative divergence in terms of the moving averages making new highs, but the 20-day, 50-day just not confirming it. There were, again, not very many setup opportunities heading into the session. The indexes, you can kind of see on these charts here, are short-term extended, and historically the last week of September, if I go down here and show you here, the last week of September, you see that where I'm kind of pointing here? The last week of September, on a 20-year seasonality perspective, tends to be really weak. You tend to see a pullback, then a bottom in early October, and then a rally. So you can see the negative divergence here as well with the moving average breadth. Okay, the indexes are making higher highs here into new all-time highs. But if you take a look at the NDTW, that's a NASDAQ 100 stocks above the 20-day, NDFI, NASDAQ 100 stocks above the 50, both are flat. Okay, they're flat, whereas NDX is pushing up here in short-term extended from the 10-day, plus from a seasonality perspective, you're heading into this. You've also got the core PCE data, Fed's favorite gauge of inflation on Friday. Lack of setups, indexes, like probabilities are indicating the market's probably going to pull back here. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking up here, short-term overbought. okay, more kind of in-rush territory, if you like. Potential support area, we've got even the 10-day EMA and all the 21-day EMA on the downside for a lot of stocks and the indexes as well. And we know this is just a highly correlated market environment, just dominated by algos. Okay, so there's on the 24th, okay? And then down here, I wouldn't be surprised to see by the end of September, major index pull back, test their 10-day EMA and potentially 21-day EMA. Okay, this is today, so I'm writing this for the market opens. Okay, this is 8:15 London time, which is middle of the night New York time. Okay, I mentioned it yesterday, Pan. Pullback look likely for the indexes, and don't be surprised to see a move to their 10-day EMA. By the end of September, I still wouldn't be surprised to have seen the major indexes test around their 21-day EMA. So it's kind of the context coming into the session. Okay, the context is looking for the flush. So if there is then the flush for the indexes down to say their 21-day EMA, and you can see all the distributional characteristics pointed out on RSP, MDY, IWM. Okay, a pullback's likely here. So what you're then really watching and waiting for, I think, is wait for the pullback to happen and then get the INMERELOs and really try and dial in on those stocks displaying intraday relative strength. So if we start off with PLTR, okay, and ONDS, the context here so far today is the triple Qs start moving down. And the SPY actually got to its 21-day EMA. Triple Q is a little bit stronger, okay? But the SPY is trading down here at the 21-day EMA. So I'm expecting the flush. Okay, I'm looking for flush, and then I'm thinking, how am I going to trade that? Well, how I'm going to trade it is I'm going to wait for the flush, and I want to see the indexes getting, say, underneath their 10-day EMA, ideally closer to this 21-day EMA. Okay, level down here. If I actually just swap this out for the SPY a second, you can see SPY today, right down to the 21-day EMA, turning around. Bit like back to triple Qs, okay? So what we can see here is flush, and then they start getting into that vicinity. And then when I start to see, so this is where you start learning about the nuances of when to push the INMERELOs pretty hard. And what you'll tend to see ahead of the indexes INMERELOing, so intraday mean reversion longs. So I'm actually going to change this to the SPY. I just think it's going to be a little bit cleaner, okay? So we're going to swap this to the SPY. It's pretty much the same answer, but the SPY gets right to the 21-day EMA. So I'm just going to highlight this because then again, it's another kind of a nuance of the INMERELO, okay? So what we can see with the SPY today is it gets down to that 21-day EMA, which is here on the 5-minute chart. You see that? Blue line running across, that's a 21-day EMA price level. So taken here from the daily chart, plot there on the 5-minute chart. So the context here is, okay, let's see if the index is flush. SPY gets pretty much to the 21-day EMA price level. Okay, you can see it there on the daily chart, just kisses it, turns around. So what starts to happen at 9:45 and actually slightly before that with the likes of a Corewave as well, okay? You start to see the leaders starting to INMERELO / break high of day. So then this is the context of when you'll potentially want to go early ahead of the indexes INMERELOing, because the indexes start INMERELOing here at about 10 a.m. today. This is obviously 25th of September, okay? The SPY starts INMERELOing, okay, around 10 a.m. off the 21-day EMA. You start getting the MACD turn, getting here. But what you see is about 15 to 20 minutes before that, some of the intraday leaders, like PLTRs of the world, they start going. So this can then be quite a constructive sign to see. And again, it's really specific. It's really kind of the nuances here. It's indexes flushing into a potential area of support being the 21-day EMA. Nothing fancy about that. It's pretty straightforward stuff that, okay? Into that 21-day EMA. A bit of a clue that the indexes are going to INMERELO is you start looking. So I've got multiple monitors watching about 80 stocks in real time. Again, I start seeing the leaders turn and go. PLTR, turn through high of day. Look at the strength coming through that. ONDS, turning, going. A lot of them, okay, turning, going, INMERELOing, breaking out through high of day ahead of the indexes. Leaders lead, okay, leaders lead. So given the context here of indexes pull down flush to the 21-day EMA, then looking for that turn, what I'm trying to do is dial in on those leaders. TMLs, momentum leaders, which ones start displaying a high degree of intraday relative strength and start breaking out or kind of INMERELOing, turning ahead of the indexes. Because that can be a clue. So when I'm looking at them, looking at all these, I see that's turning, that's turning, that's turning, that's turning. For me, it's then a much higher likelihood that the indexes are also going to turn and the algos are going to go follow those leaders. Okay? But it's the context of waiting for the SPY to get down into that vicinity, see the leaders go. So then when I see PLTR on this bar here, okay, the 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time candlestick, what does it start doing? Well, this is the 10-day EMA. See it there? And it has now turned into a gap down reversal bar. So the prior close up here, gaps down to here, just by its 10-day EMA, little shakeout to Martel, turning and going. ONDS, very similar. That's the 10-day EMA price level there. This is the 10-day EMA price level. So INMERELOs, intraday mean reversion longs, are kind of early entries, oftentimes in the formation or in the forming of gap down reverse bars and shakeout demand zones. So you can see, okay, so the entry is here. The entry is here, okay? So not talking out my arse, ONDS today this is, I'm 5 hours ahead of New York time in London. Okay, so this is 9:49 Eastern time. This with PLTR. This is 9:47 Eastern time, okay? These are those entries from today. So you start to see the leaders going. And this is really key to then dial in on that intraday relative strength, because when stocks tend to go on big moves, they tend to display a high degree of intraday relative strength. So if we take a look at PLTR, we've got that 20-day ADR percentage, let's call it 4%. Well, what's it now up? Well, it's now up over its 20-day ADR percentage and has not closed below its 5-minute 60, or it did up here, but it's now achieved over its 20-day ADR percentage without closing below the 5-minute 60 EMA. Well, what did it do on that day? How did it act? What did it do? Did it display a high degree of intraday relative strength? Didn't it? Where was it in relation to a key daily moving average like the 10-day EMA? If we go and take a look at ONDS, okay, off the low to the high here, no close below the 5-minute 60 EMA during this run, and the stock goes up. Its ADR is 11.5%. It goes up nearly 14% without closing below this 5-minute 60. Well, what did it do? How did it act? So what we start to see at 9:45 for both of these stocks, so that's going to be this 5-minute bar here and this 5-minute bar here. Look at the SPY. The SPY's down here. The SPY's MACD has not turned. The SPY has not reclaimed its 5-minute 60 EMA. The SPY is nowhere near high of day. The high of day is here. See that? 9:45. It's all the way down here. Whereas PLTR at 9:45, it's breaking high of day. ONDS effectively breaking high of day. Very close to doing it. Look at the strength of this bar as well for ONDS. Opens on the low of that 5-minute candlestick, closed on the high of that 5-minute candlestick. So you then start to see the strength coming in. If you've got your trading set up like me, you've got multiple monitors or you're flicking through tabs, you'll start to see the strength. You just see it. These stocks, they just start going. You just see it. There's the strength. That's the one. They're going. Brad in the forum today had the exact 3 same stocks that I did. I know he's got a lot of monitors, PLTR, ONDS, Corewave. I don't think that's by coincidence. It's by design, because you just see it when you know what you're looking for. Take you through Corewave as well, okay? So this Corewave from today, 9:46, okay? So this bar here is obviously from 9:40 Eastern time to 9:45 Eastern time, okay? Remember, I'm 5 hours ahead in London, okay? So what do we start to see? Let's go put this on here, 9:40. Now this happens in kind of the exceptional cases. Let's go into this and this like this. Okay, so 9:40. Where is the triple Qs at 9:40 in relation to the day's range? It's making new low of day. It's down here. Where is Corewave? Corewave is breaking out through the high of day. Do you see that? 9:40. Breaking out through the high of day while the triple Qs is here. Look at the first 3 5-minute candlesticks for the triple Qs couldn't really be more bearish. Kind of as bearish as it gets. Open on the high, get out on the low. Open on the high, get out on the low. Open on the high, get out on the low. What does Corewave do? Okay, starts out the session, but I'd say a bearish bar, but then you start to see the divergence. Look at the second 5-minute candlestick today relative to that second 5-minute candlestick. It's already diverging and signaling its strength. Then it goes through the high of day. That's where I get it. Right in there. It's breaking out through the high of day because I'm going, wow, that's a strong stock. And then if you're thinking about initial risk relative to the 20-day ADR percentage, stop low of day, it's just round numbers, call it 2%, versus an ADR of about 7.5%. It's less than a third. It's less than a third. Really tight initial risk control. And then stocks that tend to go on big moves tend to display a lot of intraday relative strength. So then it goes up 8% more than its 20-day ADR percentage and generally rides the 5-minute 6 EMA. Now, context here of the triple Qs, it's now gone up its 20-day ADR percentage into the prior session's low of day plus the overhead 10-day EMA. That may be all there is for the session here, okay? But trying to dial in on that intraday relative strength when you see it, I think is so important. That is where the game is. If you can spot that and you can spot where the algos and the money is flowing, I think the world is your oyster. Let me take you through then Tesla and Riot. Okay, so this is from yesterday, 24th of September. No different. Okay, no different. This is how the session then played out. And that's why sell rules are obviously very important, because what you don't want to do is end up just holding a right all the way down like this in the wrong type of market environment where you're expecting a pullback. You're expecting the market to be under pressure. So that's why intraday sell rules, okay, there's times where you want to be a swing positional trader. There's times where you want to be more intraday focused. It depends on the context. You play the game that is in front of you. But what I want to do is just zoom this in so you can see the first, let's say, 2 hours of the session. So we've gone to about 11:30, and let's take this into about 11:30, all Eastern time, okay? And let's go here, just to kind of highlight it, okay? So remember we were talking about the intraday relative strength on the kind of INMERELOs high of day breakouts for a core week today, for ONDS today, for PLTR today. Okay, so they're more kind of INMERELOs or opening range breakouts as well that happen a little bit later on, not straight off of the first 5-minute candlestick. Because if we go and take a look at Tesla and Riot from yesterday, they are ones that just break through the high, that first 5-minute candlestick. So it's the same point here in terms of looking for intraday relative strength. So this is all yesterday. Okay, so we're focused on not this final daily candlestick you can see. We're focused on this bar. Okay, we're focused on this bar. We're focused on this bar. Okay, we're not focused on the last bar. We're looking at yesterday's session. Take a look at the first 5-minute candlestick for the SPY on the 24th of September. Bearish, right? What about the next one? Bearish. 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 5 down bars in a row for the SPY. So yeah. Now let's start off with Tesla. Look at the relative strength that Tesla displays in the opening 5 minutes. You see it? Look at the candlestick here for Tesla relative to the candlestick there for the SPY. It's chalk and cheese. It's night and day. It couldn't be any more different. Tesla opens near the low of the bar, a little shakeout demand tail, closes right on the high. My entry, right there. Okay, 6 seconds into that formation of that candlestick, 24th of September, okay, right here. So this is 2:35 my time in London, which is 9:35 Eastern time, New York time, and 6 seconds into the formation of this second 5-minute candlestick. It's right there, on the screws. As soon as it goes, ping, I'm in. Order's ready to go. Similar with Riot, okay? Riot is, go get this, Riot is 5 seconds after I've entered Tesla. So you then got to be quite quick. And again, it's then a trainable skill set. If you want to be this quick, you can get better at it. It's a trainable skill set. But you've got to think about the efficiency of your layup, utilizing hotkeys and things like that as well. So the entry here on Riot is 11 seconds into the formation of that 5-minute candlestick. The entry here on Tesla is 6 seconds into the formation of that 5-minute candlestick. It's pretty quick and pretty good. But that's how quick you can then try and get it as soon as you see it, as soon as it breaks out the high. With Riot as well, you had a lot of group theme confirmation, some from the other crypto miner data center related stocks. IRN, Marathon are 2 that come to mind from yesterday as well. So you're getting the group theme confirmation as well. So this is visually then what I'm looking for. Okay, Tesla, close on the high, doing this relative to the SPY. And the question I'm asking is, okay, is Tesla going to follow through here? Because I start seeing the weakness of the SPY, weakness. Same with the triple Qs as well. Whereas Tesla goes, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Push, 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 push. Same with right here. Push, 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 push. Like that. It then struggles to swim against what ultimately happened for the SPY, trading down. The majority of stocks are going to struggle against that. But here you then have options. As the trade starts to develop, you have options. Okay, do I want to ride that 5-minute 60MA? Do I just want to nail this at 1 times, 2 times? When you start getting a double top intraday up here, and then it just starts rolling down, plus right is then up, is 20-day ADR percentage. From there to there, right's up 13%. It's up 2 times effectively its 20-day ADR percentage. So right is then up 2 times its 20-day ADR percentage of circa 6.89% in, what's that, an hour. But again, what does a stock then do when it goes up 2 times its 20-day ADR percentage? It does this. Look at that first 5-minute candlestick for Riot relative to this bar here, plus other stocks from the same group and theme were doing that. IRET, Marathon, some that come to mind relative to this. So you can start to train your pattern recognition to, okay, this is what a stock tends to do. These are repeatable characteristics when it goes on a big move, and then you efficiently are able to watch those stocks. You're giving yourself better opportunities. Okay, if you can only look at 8 stocks and I can look at 80, I have 10 times more opportunity than you do. That comes kind of like a tipping point. If you're trying to watch 500, it's probably not going to work unless you can write some kind of clever algorithm. But if you're only looking at, say, 8 and I'm looking at 80, well, I have 10 times more opportunity to spot a Tesla, to spot a Riot, to spot a Corewave today, to spot an ONDS today, to spot a PLTR today. So I think you do want to think about your layout and then how you can start efficiently identifying these and then how you can train your kind of speed of execution as well. So then, okay, you see the opportunity, but how quickly can you then get into the opportunity? And how do you then be prepared around that as well? Having orders ready to go, utilizing hotkeys, so on and so forth. So hopefully that's useful for you guys to just understand a little bit more about relative strength. This is where I think the game is currently played in this market environment.